see what you saw, all whistles and bells. Behold, Mr. Nelson's argue what has to say from the very start. Beyond the end of the day, after latest fuck, what else is there? Admitting you're stuck, but Mr. Nelson don't care. Behold, Mr. Nelson don't care with the latest fuck. What else is there? Admitting you're stuck, but Mr. Nelson don't care. Watch Mr. Nelson don't care. Watch Mr. Nelson draw. Listen to him tell his tales and see what you saw. All whistles and bells. Behold, Mr. Nelson's argue what has to say from the very start. Beyond the end of the day, after latest fuck, what else is there? The minute you're stuck, but Mr. Nelson don't care.
Well, it's not too bad, especially for short notice. Yeah, I'll work on it later. Anyway, going to draw, I guess, Terminator and then Green Lantern. And then later on, sometime tomorrow, I'll probably have a video out talking about Green Lantern because apparently they've cast the actor. You know, there's been rumors about Green Lantern going for quite a few weeks now. It looks like they settled on Kyle Chandler from, Friday Night Tights. Not Tights, Lights. So anyway, did see the first two episodes of the Terminator Zero show and have already done a drawing of the Terminator that is prominent in the first episode. So I thought, I'll do the second one. But I've already kind of forgotten what he looked like. I looked up some images from the show, and I don't think it's the same guy. The one in the second show, I mean, it might be the same guy. He's just in different clothes. But the one in the show that's attacking the main girl and all that, I think he was dressed as a paramedic. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just thinking that because an ambulance was involved and the police showed up and all hell breaks loose, but all I saw in the images was this dude in a suit. So, gonna do the dude in the suit. I don't know. But all you gotta do is just draw anybody, and then their face gets ripped off, and it's the metal skull with the red eye. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So, so far, like the first episode, was mostly, it was a lot of action and this girl being chased and all that. And yes, the main hero is this girl from the future. Oh, there's someone who's well, this time a scientist that Terminator's trying to kill. Um, I don't know if it's Skynet, so they mentioned that if it's trying to be in continuity with, but then again with time travel, they pretty much acknowledge that oh, there could be multiple timelines and all this sort of stuff. Um, but the thing of it is that by the time you get to the second episode and the girl who's there to, I guess, make right what once went wrong, um, they showed the Statue of Liberty and everything else. I just assumed that it was taking place in Japan with all this, it's an anime and made there and all that, but it's the Statue of Liberty. I said, oh, she's gone to New York. I guess she's got to get to wherever this scientist is, which I just figured, oh, he must be in the, I don't know, the Tokyo division of Cyberdyne. And, but suddenly it's the Statue. Do they have a replica of the Statue of Liberty in, I don't know, Tokyo or something? Uh, but no, it's like all the billboards and everything. And then uh, it's very much like a Japanese city, and so I don't know what that's about. I'm assuming it. I mean, it's obviously in the same uh, town as the main scientist character, who it says he's having nightmares about the future, and of course, it's all going to come true. I don't know if that means they'll reveal that he's had a visitation from the future or whatever. Uh, so he's decided, oh no, the Skynet AI is going to take over the world and kill all the people with nuclear weapons, and that's how the Terminator War begins and all that. And so, what does he do? Well, he makes another AI to take on his. And of course, the AI comes to the same conclusion as Skynet, apparently. So, guess his dumb idea didn't work. I don't know, but it's only the first episode, so no. Maybe it'll look at the end. And then the rest is these kids. And I'm guessing one of them, because there's this woman in the future that looks like to have been a mother figure or a, mentor to the main character here. Yeah. And, but she's just a little girl in the past. So that sort of thing. But other than that, it's the same story. It doesn't, well, there's Terminators traveling through time and trying to kill whoever defeated them in the future and all that stuff. Um, it's like a lot of things of these franchises, and what the first question you got to ask is, what other story is there left to tell? I know it's just a money grab, but you got to make it work. It's not gonna work. Let's tear up this. I don't know if it does in the movie, the show, but we'll just pretend it did. And when it comes to Terminator, the future war story is the only thing you really have left to try to discuss. I mean, it's pretty much tells the story anyway. Kyle Reese says it in the first movie. Uh, they'd won. But the Terminators discovered time travel, and they just did. Well, I mean, you have to think, the theoretical ability to travel through time was worked on top secret experiments and whatnot. And once the Skynet takes over, it can go through all that research and actually achieve it. I'm assuming. And so that's what they do. Once they've lost, they realize that John Connor was too much of a good leader to inspire everybody to stay in the fight and not give up despite the overwhelming odds. And so, of course, they deduced that, well, what if he was never born? Then none of this would, So they go back in time. Uh, but ironically enough, as is the case going all the way back to, Greek myths of tragedy and all that, they end up causing their own doom, because if they hadn't gone back in time, then Kyle Reese wouldn't have gone back in time either. But without Kyle Reese, John Connor was never born because his father is from the future. And you've heard of star-crossed. Wow. This is time-crossed lovers. And so there you go. The Terminators was basically Kyle Reese's wingman, Hey, she might not have been interested in the guy if he wasn't, being a hero and saving her life and all that. She had to admit, turned her on. So there you go. And then John Connor is born as a result. So there. I mean, not that great of a wingman. I mean, because he killed him afterward and was beating him. And then the only way Kyle could stop him was to blow him up with a grenade. But he couldn't survive that. I mean, the Terminator still lived on until Sarah flattened him in that press machine, And turns out Skynet made more, and they came back for the sequel, of course. But there again, that's the kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. It's James Cameron who did Aliens, but it's similar to Aliens. I mean, there's really only 2 Alien films because they don't know what else to do. And the only thing to do was, do a story about the space jockey. Well, they did with Prometheus, and so some things are best left to them. Now, you can be inspired by them. You ever think of that? And then you come up with your own thing that might not have anything to do with aliens or killer robots and all that shit. But I don't know. We don't do it anymore. And of course, I know it's the guaranteed franchise, and it's tried to minimize risk because of the extraordinary amounts of money spent on these things. But oddly enough, then you'll have someone come along and do like that Godzilla -1 movie, and then it looks fantastic, but he did it under budget and all that. Can't help but I think it's a foregone conclusion that there's quite a bit of shenanigans as to where the money goes in some of these things. It's not that it's not that expensive in some areas, but it shouldn't be that damned expensive. And you can look at the movie and say, hey, I just don't say where the money went. But all gone now. So anyway, that's the deal of why you would pursue old, popular, or once popular franchises like Terminator. But they don't seem to really put much emphasis on, well, what happens now? The Salvation is a movie that was really probably a bigger letdown than the stupid ones that came after, which were pretty stupid. Genesis and Dark Fate, and pretty stupid. The only thing I'll give to Dark Fate, at least there's an explanation as to why the toothpick-limbed woman can hold her on against the murder machine of Terminator and big dudes and all that sort of stuff. because she had cybernetic implants. So there you go. See, you explain it, and it's all right. I'll give you that one. But you don't, you're lying. So, um, but Salvation was the one that, okay, it's in the future. John Connor's a grown man. They had Kristen Bale playing the role, and that's not bad. The whole story should have been this father and son story, but it's this bizarre time travel thing where the son is being the father to the son, and you could get something out of that, and you could talk about it like how did John Connor become the big leader, and the elements are there in the story. He isn't at the time. He's one of many, leaders in this war against the Terminators. But by the end of the movie, the real leadership are wiped out. And then John Connor rises to become the main leader for humanity's effort against the Terminators, and something of that nature. And it would have been a more interesting thing just between the two. Instead, it got bogged down by this other guy who was a convicted felon. Cyberdyne used him to experiment on creating automatons and all that. And it copied him too well because his memories and everything were in this Terminator. The real guy, of course, was long dead. He'd been executed. And but it just got in the way of, and it was actually pretty good casting. Unfortunately, the guy who played young Reese, that Anton Yelchin guy, was killed by his own vehicle. The story goes that he got the recall notice in the mail, and he was going to get his mail when the problem with the brake in the vehicle happened, and so his own vehicle crushed him to death. Holy crap. Just bizarre, But that's what happened to him. And but anyway, he didn't look like Michael Biehn, but he just kind of a similar look to him, and just missed opportunity all over the place. And I thought that's what they should have done. Yeah, it's a different story. After that, but I mean, they eventually win, and then it would have been interesting to delve into, I suppose, how they discover the time travel elements and things of that nature. I suppose could have done, and then that's it. Now where it is, Cameron wants to go back into it and reboot it and everything. And I mean, obviously, the narratives of it and the everyone freaked out over AI and whatnot, and what doom could be upon us. Makes some amount of sense, but then again, it is the same material. I don't know what else you can do. Well, we need the Terminator to be gay or something like that. If it's just crap like that, then it's like, well, all right, you don't have a new story of any sort, and there's no other new element to it. So it's, that's when you need to move on, come up with something else. But coming up with something else is hard. It's really hard. And also, it's like, I don't know, the risk of getting someone to buy into your untested product. Yeah. And that's pretty much the real deal. All right. Let me see. I'll do Green Lantern. I got a picture up here for Mr. Chandler. Do I do it? I guess just have him stand there. I don't know. And the thing about the DCU is, gotta admit, the Superman outfit looks pretty crappy. And say, oh well, you haven't seen the film. And the only thing I can say about that is that the Supergirl outfit from the Flash movie looked terrible, but then in the movie, and not so much. So I don't know. It was just kind of weird in those behind the scenes shots, and had those supposed to be like the padding for her to have abs, and they look like she had been infected by some kind of alien parasitic worms. uh, she wasn't. And actually, the actress looks really good in the suit, you know. But so it's like, oh well, I don't know. Is that some sort of shenanigans of CGI or something they'll do in post? But I don't know. I mean, the suit looked like it looked in person on Cavill for Henry Cavill's suit uh, from the behind the scenes shots. It pretty much looked the same as it did in the movie, just not as desaturated as apparently Zack Snyder's really into robbing color from everything. But anyway, that was about it, you know, and just didn't. I don't know. It the suit with this guy with Corn Sweat playing him. It looks like the suit doesn't fit him, like it was made for some fatter guy or something. I don't know. So, but whatever. Anyway, they've been tossing around names uh, to play the Green Lantern for this Green Lantern uh, series that's taking a nod from True Detective because they can't afford to have an outer space spectacular. That's got to be the real reason. I mean, if you could have had some kind of mystery that was in space, you know, but instead, I don't know if they're going to come to these parts of Louisiana, which is what the first season of True Detective did. um, but that appears to be what they'll do. So, that, of course, the buddy cop type thing with one's a rookie and the one's a veteran Green Lantern. And so Kyle Chandler would be cast as Hal Jordan. And they'll pretty much set it up to where he's, you know, been Green Lantern for a while and all that sort of thing. And then John Stewart would be the rookie and that sort of thing. Now, the thing about it is it sounded like they wanted some named recognizable you know, movie star, you know, A-list actor, they refer to it. So Josh Brolin's name was tossed around, and the story was that he was offered the role, but he turned it down. Um, so now it's this guy from Friday Night Lights. Don't know what he's done since. Um, but the thing of it is about needing to go on the cheap. I wouldn't have thought they could afford a A-list actor, you know, and it's kind of the point of getting rid of the stars they had playing those roles to begin with. Also, the distance themselves from the previous failed iterations, so on and so forth. And so they do this. Um, but chasing after Josh Brolin. So he turned it down, and for whatever reason, or maybe they just couldn't afford him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing it for that." So, oh, you're not, huh? No, I'm not. Oh, oh. So I don't know. So maybe Mr. Chandler here is yeah, I'll do it, and certainly known for television. So you know, you got that going for you. But the thing of it is, I suspect by the end of the season, Al Jordan will not survive And so John Stewart will be the main Green Lantern for the DCU. And um, when they get to a Justice League film, well, that's who'll be there. And a lot of people came to know Justice League from the 90s cartoon, coming out of the world established by the Batman, the animated series, and so on and so forth. And of course, John Stewart was the Green Lantern of that lineup. So, I'd probably think, hey, let's recapture that. The only thing is if there's any particular Green Lantern stories that anyone's interested in, which is not the entirety of the movie audience, of course, you're probably just never going to see them realized. Or worse yet, try to adapt them to John Stewart. I'd rather they just stick to John Stewart stories. Because John Stewart actually has a pretty good story of how he gets humbled by that he's an arrogant guy for a bit, and it ends up going disastrously wrong. And that was a story with Cosmic Odyssey. It was really a Justice League story in and of itself, but for him, and I don't know if you have to do the whole Cosmic Odyssey story, but certainly a similar situation where all these people, this whole planet gets wiped out because he thought he could handle it, and he was wrong. And so it hit him pretty hard, and then he becomes a far more serious and grounded guy, and kind of leans on his Marine background and stuff like that. So it was kind of a good, a building block and development of the character. And they, maybe they'll do that, and then if that case, that would be the way to go, and that makes it more. It's something from his story and background, not Hal Jordan's. Because unlike a lot of these dumb things that have happened of late, it's not a race swap. John Stewart was always a black man. Make a token out of him, and it ruins the whole deal. And if it's just, oh, well, then it'll be all Hal Jordan stuff, and I don't know what, having date Carol Ferris and she becomes Star Sapphire and all, all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, just do John Stewart stories. Yeah. And anyway, I suspect, especially since they wanted him to be much older, I don't think they'll be keeping Hal Jordan around. And it seemed like, that's been the plan for quite a while. I mean, there was even talk of a movie version of this very story where Hal Jordan's the mentor to John Stewart. And there was talk of Tom Cruise playing the Hal Jordan role. And then that would be a kind of a one and done thing. And I guess, yeah, that would have been part of, DCEU. And that's, but it, it didn't happen. And there was some story that Tom Cruise balked at the idea of playing a character that died at the end, which I suppose you could just make it mysterious of what happened to him. I don't know. And it was all talk. But I mean, the odd thing about it was like Tom Cruise put out a statement that he had seen the Flash movie and was blown away by it and all this. And why is he doing that? And then say, oh, is there still talks between the parties of some future project? And could it have been that one? That sort of thing. But Oh. So now the Lantern series still of the projects announced, other than the Superman movies, the one thing that kind of interested me. I was pretty let down at the whole redo and stuff. Um, in spite of the many flaws of the DCEU, there were some things I liked, and I thought some things could have worked out. Certainly could have worked out better. And then just, you know, Henry Cavill, I thought made a great Superman, and just never got the chance to play him. You know, uh, didn't get the script for it, and well, not happening. So it was kind of a bummer deal, especially when it's like this Corn Sweat, David Corn. Yes, right, that's David Corn Sweat. Uh, he he looks like he could pass for Henry Cavill's brother. So, but you know, as well, oh well, Henry would be too much money. Plus, the word keeps going around. A lot of people in the studio system don't like the guy, which more and more, and especially after that Witcher stuff, is guy's not woke. Can't help but suspect something of that nature. But that's too bad. All right. Oh, I gotta get back to the studio. Oh man, I had it way over there. Jeez. There's the drawing. That's embarrassing. Okay. Can put this into the Photoshop and make it look like I knew what I was doing, which I don't. That's another thing. I don't know how the costumes will be. The Superman costume looking like it does, and all that. Might just be in some crappy jumpsuit, you know, with wrinkles and stuff. I always thought it was like that the ring made it's like, kind of like the Ryan Reynolds movie was that, you know, it was completely made out of light and stuff, so that's why it was a complete CGI'd suit. And I understood what they were doing for that, and I always kind of thought that was the deal. Because a lot of times, oh no, he would lose power or whatever, and then he would just be in his normal clothes, and the costume would disappear because it doesn't really exist. But more and more, they just do it like, nah, it's an actual suit. And yeah, well, of course there were. Yeah, I do remember there were some comics where the ring ran out of power and he was still in the suit walking around like, damn, now I got no power. Uh, I don't know, maybe it's both. But that's what they did. So, but they're going on the cheap somewhat. But there's people who've proven you can make that work and figure it out. So hopefully, you know, it's a success. But position they're in, Superman movie's got to be the best damn Superman movie ever made, and I just don't think that's in the cards. I mean, it could be an okay movie, it could be even pretty good. But in order to sell this and save that collapsing company, I don't know. All right, whatever. It's still, see, I can't see what I'm doing. Well, then look at it. I did. All right, got some chats. all Nodak. And Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, and Doctor Who. Okay. Hit the like button, says Nodak123. Indeed. I watched the Terminator not too long ago. I found it boring. A whole movie about a guy stuck in an airport. Yawn. No, that was, yeah. Nodak123. Listening to you talk about it, I may have watched the wrong movie. My mistake. Nodak123. I should have known I had the wrong movie. Your guy on the left doesn't look anything like Tom Hanks. Yes. That was the wrong movie. The Terminal. That was The Terminal. Taylor Swift greater than Disney. Person turquoise, waving person turquoise, waving person turquoise, waving person. Turquoise, waving person turquoise, waving person, turquoise waving. Well, this isn't the turquoise lantern, it's the green lantern. But sometimes there's a mistake, you know. Nodak123 says Martha. Yes, Martha was the big reveal. Turns out Superman and Batman, their mothers were both named Martha. Yeah. What's in a name? Well, it was pretty serious then, huh? Anyhow, boy, those were the good old days, huh? All right, I'll put this in Photoshop. But first, take a break. Had to grab something, and this is what I had. Bayou Crime Report. It's old, so the little nod about the Louisiana governor in it, that's the previous Louisiana governor, not the current one. Current one's all right. Previous one, no. Although I've seen worse, but still. Anyway, here comes Bayou Crime Report. And it's not there. Jeez. All right, I guess it's placeholder then. What the hell? Why does it do that? Weird. Man, it was pretty funny too, yeah, even though it was old. All right, placeholder it is. And it's not working. Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, that was lovely, wasn't it? All right, here we go with the Photoshop element of the story show. Anyway, same old thing. Take out, well, desaturate, so it's completely black and white. Yes, yes, we don't want any colors we don't want. No, no, we don't. Whoops. Oh, the black hole appeared. Oh no, Green Lantern. Oh no, he lost his ring hand. Oh boy. All right, we'll fix that. Eh, eh, eh. Oh look, it's already green. Well, a little too soon. All right, we'll start with, I don't know, not very impressive Terminator. Hey, we can't all be Schwarzenegger. I know. I know. Oh, I got to do the paint filter. Doop 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 doop. There we go. Okay. Wah 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 wah. Grabbed the wrong thing. Wah. No. There we go. I'll put that right there. Right next to that cup. Man, how to crap up his collar that bad? Well, he gets shot a lot, so the suit got damaged. Yeah, that's. I mean, I meant it to do that. Uh, so, now to get this done, and then I'll be able to. Well, first I'm going to do a New York Post stories video. And in order to save time, I guess it'll have to be this story about New York schools, where they just don't feel safe at the school anymore. It's almost as if some new element arrived in the city, increasing the danger. Yes. Yeah, I wonder what it could be. Well, I, of course, will opine upon that in the. Oh, man. That's what I get for being a smug asshole. There we go. Put this in there. There, right there. There's one thing I know about skin. It's got to have flesh. Maybe he has sort of a yellow belt buckle. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I could have sworn the guy in the. Anyway, no, there's probably several Terminator. It's probably the same guy. Like I said, he changed his clothes. Yeah, that's probably what it is. And goes after the female protagonist who inspires a young girl, I think, who all she wants to do is play with a robot kitty. Well, her father, who works in robotics and AI, understands the deadly threat that little cat um, represents, So, she just thinks, Daddy's being mean, won't let me play with Kitty. I don't know why they didn't just get her out. Well, I guess maybe they explained it and I just wasn't paying attention. Look, I was watching it on my phone while at work and wasn't really paying all that much attention. So, I probably missed some details, but I guess there's a reason why they couldn't have a real kitty, so they bought a robot kitty. Uh, I think the cat's name was Koneko, something like that. And boy, they made it too perfect because the cat just had a mind of its own and runs away. The girl chases it, gets lost, all this type of stuff. Yeah, it's a great toy to give your kids. See, it's already a problem, but yeah. Now the story was, oh, maybe it's the babysitter but I think it's the little girl who becomes the old lady in the future. I'm thinking the babysitter's gonna fall in love with the hero woman from the future, that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. But if it's gonna be a gay story, better be lesbians, especially hot ones. uh, yeah, she got naked. You got to. Those are the rules when you travel through time. You have to be nude, and she was. Yeah, and you know, uh, that was just something programmed into Skynet. Make sure you tell everyone they got to be naked. It was probably, you know, partly funded by Diddy. They got to be naked and covered in baby oil. Really? Yeah, you can't travel in time with clothes on and no baby oil. And you're like, I I didn't know that. Well, now you know. Well, thanks, Mr. Diddy. This could have gone very badly. So there you go. But then again, I guess they decided against the baby oil part. But going into the past, butt naked. It was a plot contrivance also because, like they even bring it up in the first movie. Why didn't he bring like a ray gun or something? you know, and so you can't have any inorganic stuff. It's got to be organic. Things can go through, and it's like, but he's a machine. Only on the inside. The outside is all real flesh. That was another thing that Cyberdyne had to figure out how to recreate, skin and stuff to put that over the the robot part. So technically a cyborg because the flesh is a biological entity, but that's typically not enough to make you a cyborg. But we'll go with it. So, anywho, I don't know what to make of the show yet, um, since it's very repetitive of previous things. It's kind of it's an anime version of the same story. That's fun. What the hell am I? Why didn't it show up? Oh, there. Oh, I didn't do the other one. What am I banging the? Oh, my chair's banging the microphone. That's what it is. I'm sorry, I did that. Oops, I'm embarrassed. I did that. Yeah, there we go. And I didn't do. Oh, it's already. this on top of my OCD getting in the way of things. If I hadn't said, yeah, I guess I'll do a later a. Yeah, this is supposed to be the after show of Pat Nixon's show. um, I guess I'll have to do shows with guests at some point. Um, did it again. But I'm currently redrawing my Sun King comic for this will be the third effort because I just like, no, I'm not happy with that. May end up using a combination of the different elements, but yeah, that's embarrassing. But anyway, all right, I think that's enough for Terminator. There he is. If you see him coming at you, well, it's pretty much over. I wish I could be more positive for you, but it's not happening. It's not happening, man. Game over. Okay. Now it's time for Green Lantern. Here, put a little seam for the glove there. There's the ring. See? Um, and suppose I could just clip this and say, that's my video for the Nelson ratings tomorrow. I drew a picture of Green Lantern. Why is the Terminator there? Is that Metallo? No. See? That's why I can't just clip this. Should have separated the pictures. But I didn't. And now, forever, will I suffer the regret. There we go. Didn't do a good job on capturing the likeness of Mr. Chandler. But it's interesting because the Friday night lights show, I think, was probably an inspiration, maybe somewhat of an inspiration to Smallville, but certainly the Superman show that unfortunately is coming to an end. Too little, too late, I'm afraid, for the CW efforts of the DC characters. So, but this, that tone and small town and all that sort of stuff. And fatherhood. Yes. Fatherhood. So, oh, I didn't count it in. Damn it. I know what to do. No, wait, that would be. Yeah. Do. Oh, jeez. Yeah. That's one way of finding out if things messed up. I did start watching. I didn't finish it because I didn't know there was going to be, full on sex in it. Can't be watching that at work, Killer robots blowing people away. Yes, it's one of those conundrums, But still, I was like, nah, all right, not watching this here. The Zack Snyder's Twilight of the Gods. And I have not liked his Netflix efforts. Didn't like Army of the Dead. Didn't like A Rebel Moon. Still haven't seen the full cut thing. Just don't see the reason for doing that. I think maybe should have pushed for like a series, It's that too damn much material, whatever. But oops, no, that's not what I meant to do. So maybe Twilight of the Gods will be, third time's the charm. But it was very a brief sampling of the first episode. So, we shall see. But one of the things about it was like from the teaser and whatnot, and you had this toothpick limbed girl taking on these giants and whatnot, and saving some dude and all that. And it's like, well, if there's some explanation for her abilities, then I don't really care. But yeah, one does grow tired, even in cartoon form, of the toothpick limbed supermodel defeating Navy SEALs. Unless you have some sort of superpowers or you're Wonder Woman or something like that, then, well, all right then. There wasn't really any explanation for it because right at the opening is her, destroying these big dudes and all that. But there may be an explanation. There's a scene that may indicate there's something supernatural about her and that sort of thing. So if that's the case, all right then. Maybe she's from Asgard. Twilight of the Gods refers to Ragnarok, which is, the prophesied, basically the Armageddon for the Norse gods. And all of them die, even Thor. So I don't know how much of that plays into this, since they are using the title. But I get this too. We will have to see. Indeed. Yes. But, yeah, not enough to make a judgment on it so far. But it's like Rebel Moon, he had toothpick limbed girl doing all these amazing things. And I thought, oh, is she like a superpowered alien person? Does she have powers? Is she cybernetic? Or nah, just and like, it's not that there's things she couldn't do, just not that. So one of the last things you want to do in your movie, TV show, what have you, is kick the audience right out of it. So once that's gone, it doesn't come back. And you're like, there's just no way she could beat all these 280-pound dudes. And you're like, yeah. And once you start thinking that, it's like, this is stupid. And I mean, whatever else is going on, boy, it's really got to be good in order to make up for that, which is rare, especially these days. So it's stupid. Okay. This is how you achieve 5 o'clock shadow. You go ahead and color the face, and then you gray everything. Yes. Someone didn't shave. No. And then you can go back in. Yeah. Oh, no. And, there. Ooh, really screwed up his eyes there. Jeez. Well, we'll just go very far away. That way you don't notice it as much. So I have no idea what the Green Lantern outfit would look like. Could have drawn him in just the basic Green Lantern suit that was always there, but odds are that won't be the case. So here we go. Terminator Zero. Is it a zero? Well, it might be, but we'll see. All right, I think that'll do it for that. Terminator, Green Lantern. Who'd have? Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, I get lazy, so I just put the Green Lantern symbol like that. Oh my god, it's too big. I don't think they do this trick anymore where they have the little holographic symbol hover over the symbol, but yeah, I didn't think this one through. Oops. Kind of put it there, and oh wait, I know. Duplicate. Bloop. Oh no, wait. Take that out. Do this. Bloop. There we go. Dun dun dun. Then huh. Yeah. Do the outer glow. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like this. Or is that I can't see your symbol no more. Yeah, maybe just superimpose it over. Maybe this. Maybe that. Whew. Man, this is looking like crap. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much time I got left. Nope. Geez. Not a lot. Well, the important thing is I tried. Maybe fade it in there like that or just skip it. All right, there we go. Green Lantern and Terminator. Gee, I hope you've enjoyed this little session of, what do you call it? Well, art. Yeah. And, I guess I need to end that. I guess I can turn the camera back on. Well, I guess I can't. What the hell? There, geez. You try to do things and things will be things. Anyway, there you go. That's the inaugural for later as fuck. Yeah, I know. It's the after show. Because this is what I do. I draw stuff and Photoshop stuff. That's what I do. All right. Thanks for watching. I need to check out the chat again. Before I go, Taylor Swift greater than Disney. Lap. Taylor Swift greater than Disney and stuff. LOL. No, Dak. Why not put flesh over a ray gun? Yeah. They could do that. I mean, sure, it looks weird, but so what? You're just a robot. You tear all that crap off. Now you've got a phaser. Yeah. Anyway, then just, yeah, exactly. Tear it off the ray gun once you've traveled through time. Yeah. Yeah. They didn't think of that, did they? It's like, oh, we don't know how to program the flesh thing to wrap around a gun. I don't know. Anyway, Nodak123, I hear there's a lot of dong in that Netflix show. Well, you mean the Twilight of the Gods? Yeah, there's a dong. So I'm assuming there's probably a hell of a lot more. I'm not crazy about that, yeah. So, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, A. Thompson, why does Pat delete his videos now? Well, to make them special, I guess. But yeah, they're deleted now. Yeah. Anyway, Nodak123, thanks for the show, Doug. Much appreciated. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I am. So there we go. Hopefully I will do another one tomorrow night. I've got to get to work on New York Post stories and a video on Green Lantern. Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about the, why bother? The Ray movie isn't happening, but yeah, I'll do a Green Lantern video. All right. Have a good night. You and yours and everyone else. And hopefully do it again tomorrow night. But I will be on Pat's show tomorrow night, definitely. So see you then.
Whistles and bells. Behold, Mr. Nelson's art. Do what has to say from the very start. Beyond the end of the day, after latest fuck, what else is there? Admitting you're stuck, but Mr. Nelson don't care. Mr. Nelson don't care. Mr. Nelson.